Ugh, what was that sound? I don't know. Anyway, hi everyone, it's Cindy, the self-proclaimed most fabulous member of the Boston Lightsaber Stage Combat Club, and today we'll be rewatching our performance of Jedi High School from Arisia 2019. 2019? I mean 2020. It's been a long year. And in this performance, you may know me better as Carrie, or the nerd student, or the Green Power Ranger, because we were all color-coded. Let's get right to it, because I'm sure Dave is going to edit out everything I'm saying anyway. Alright, Dave, I'm going to press play in 3, 2, 1.
Alright, class, today's an exciting day. We're going to learn how to use lightsabers. Woo! Alright, settle down. Now, who would like to come up here first?
Big B! Big B!
Dummy Smith, come on up here. Today's your lucky day.
Hi everyone, I'm Mike. In this performance, I play the role Dummy Smith.
Dummy acquired a lightsaber. We'll see how this goes downhill from here.
Alright, now there are 3 rules to remember.
Hello, my name is Jalen Campbell. I was the role of Professor Errata. As a Jedi professor, my job was to train the newest, Padawans.
Rule 1, always having the pointing away from you! What did I just say, Smith?
Pointing a lightsaber to myself.
Away! I said away from yourself!
Oh, sorry.
Don't point it at me either.
Then, where should I point it?
Anywhere else. Don't point at yourself. That's rule 1. Got it?
Ah, rule 1. We're gonna revisit this point later on, but keep that in mind.
Got it.
Professor, are you sure you want to give it that?
Hey everybody, this is Connor. I played the role of the teaching assistant.
Hi guys, my name is Gladys, and I play as the pirate student from the show.
And I'm Christopher Burns. I didn't get to play a role in the show, but I did work as an understudy and help during rehearsals and with the filming of this video. There's, right away, some hidden character development here. Pirate students immediately protecting the nerd student, as you can see.
So here's the funny thing is, this is not on the script at all. So, because we have the whole idea, thinking that, maybe, since Cindy and I are, really good friends, so why not we also put our friendship element in this? So, I think that's how you kind of work things around, too.
Yep.
Nonsense. Anyone who has a little bit more sensitivity possesses... Professor! What are you doing?
I'm trying to figure out where to point the lightsaber.
Put that thing away before you hurt someone.
Okay, got it.
Where are you going?
You told me to hide a lightsaber.
So that was me trying to be as smart as a nerdy student, but it's not like I'm that dumb, right?
I said put it away, not to hide it. Just give it to me. Whatever you do, don't turn it up.
So if you're not aware, we conduct a lot of our rehearsals on MIT's campus, and this particular season fell in line with MIT's winter's final season. So this screaming and hollering is funny in of itself, but I just want you to picture all of us very whisper shouting or whisper screaming right outside a lecture hall where these poor undergrads are just trying to get through this final exam before they go home.
Why did you turn it on?
Because you told me to.
I said don't turn it on! Alright, just cut it out! Don't move!
Oh no, he dropped his hand. Oh no.
And there goes the fake arm that I was holding in my sleeve, hoping no one would see, but I'm pretty sure everyone saw.
I got his hand, but I didn't kill him. Next time.
Class is dismissed! Everyone get out, especially you, Smith!
Get on your
look dumb, but I'm not stupid. That moment was meant to kill the superior, the professor, the assistants. But I didn't kill him. Dang it! But he's in pain. He's in pain at least.
Until I get a new hand! Now go! Come on.
No,
You still got 10 years.
I want to die.
Too bad. You have the students to teach.
I loved our banter. Me and Jalen had an incredible amount of improv banter between us of just like, yeah, I know, these crazy kids, but hey, you got tenure, you can't die yet.
Can I say how much I love how we start this whole show with this comedy?
I can't believe you got class dismissed early. Nice going, dummy. High five. Okay, that's cool, I guess.
I was a smart one.
You stabbed our instructor.
Gladys, who is the pirate Jedi with the yellow tabards, your costume is perfect. It was so great. I didn't see it until probably the second or third rehearsal that we did before the show, and I'm like, holy moly, it works so well. Everyone did a good job. Courtney did an amazing job helping us all assemble our costumes.
Dummy's so smart. Ticket told Dummy to get on him.
He told you to get out, and then you cut off someone's hand.
Anytime, guys.
Darn, that son of a biscuit eater was 3 sheep to the wind, I tell you. Huh?
Jones believes that Dummy may have been drunk. It's hard being the smartest one in the room, I tell you.
Oh. But how am I going to learn how to swing a lightsaber without cutting off my hand now? Hey, don't worry, Zev. The Force is basically our instruction manual for using these bad boys. Plus, it doesn't matter as long as my new lightsaber is shiny.
Interrupting joke time. Where do mansplainers get their water? From a... Well, actually, a lightsaber is nothing but a concentrated stream of plasma containing a biomagnetic field. Its tilted appearance has no correlation to its shininess. If anything, the kyber crystals... All
right, we get it, Carrie. Extra points for you. Sheesh. Now we're going to be running assessments on lightsaber combat. You'll simply need to tap me with your lightsaber in order to pass.
All things considered, not a bad class.
Mm-hmm. Well, most of them listen to what the teacher said, so...
I mean...
Shreya, we run the first assessment with Ali. I'm still feeling a bit off yesterday from getting stabbed.
Why are you getting stabbed?
I transitioned the more I think about it. They went from just being shown the lightsaber to suddenly everyone already having lightsabers.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly. Although I'm still getting used to my new hand.
Let me tell you this. Connor was so lucky to have gloves the day of the performance because we wanted to practice our fights ahead of time, but the only place where we had enough space was outside, where it was... Maybe this is my memory getting a little bit foggy because January feels like 3 years ago now. I'm pretty sure it was lightly snowing. It was definitely freezing. It's Boston in January after all, and we're all practicing essentially with steel poles. Our hands were freezing off, and I wish we all had gloves with our costume.
Why do you need a new hand? Professor, may I be stabbed?
Certainly not, Shreya. Revenge is not the Jedi way. Though in this case, I will allow a slight knock on the head.
I can't get over this, how many times during rehearsal it took for us to get that smack in the head correct.
Like, is there like different version of smack in the head that we did last time, right?
Yeah, it took us a while to figure out just how we could do it before we finally settled on, the method that we went with, just smack him with the hand. At one point they wanted to smack him with the lightsaber, but then we realized it might be a little too dangerous.
That is not too Jedi.
Lightsabers may be props, maybe toys, they're not real, but they're still made of metal. They can't hurt.
That is true.
You may begin your assessment.
Hi, I'm Dave. I'm the founder of Boston Lightsaber Stage Combat Club. In addition to a couple of other hats, I'm also the chief instructor. So most of my comments are going to be looking at the particulars of people's execution of the choreography in these fights. So this is Han and Connor's fight. And one thing they're doing really well here is that they are fighting big, not fast. This is very useful for stage combat. If you're going too fast, ting, 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 the audience can't really follow what's going on. And so they're using these large motions, and it actually works very well for a live performance.
Yeah, I learned is targets are important, but also being able to react like big sweeping movements. That really does help set, and like that, for example, like really selling that like he knocked me in the head. So that's was like being like, oh, that hurt. Oh, pain.
Wow. That was good. You passed.
Thank you.
Next. No, not you! Not you! Get back to your spot. That's all I could.
See, Zev, it's not so hard. I did it. So can you.
I don't know, Allie. I think I kind of want to see someone else do it again first, just to get a better idea.
All right, Trey, I'll take over from here. Zev Gonzales, come on up.
Oh, no.
You can do it, Zev. Just believe in...
Believe in you that believes in me?
No. Believe in the Force, duh.
So Courtney and Jalen's fight is on the short side, but it's also very, very good. They're, again, fighting slowly. So there's some of these gaps in between strikes that they could take out later, but that's sort of the last thing you do. One of the really nice things that Courtney is doing is she's doing a lot of acting. So there's not a whole lot of fight going on because it's like 4 exchanges back and forth. But she's really telling a story here, right? You can see that she's kind of nervous, that she's kind of overwhelmed when she's moving around like this. So that's very, very good. Jalen is very much playing the master. He's using these very minimal movements, which is tricky to pull off. There's a very fine line between showing that you're using minimal movements and not moving, which is not visually interesting. It's something that's quite difficult to do well. And I think he does a pretty good job here.
Good, but not good enough. Next! All right, Trey, take over from here, please.
As you wish.
Loved acting this scene with Gladys. She is so good. Like, you have no idea, ladies and gentlemen.
Avast, ye scallywag! Me Douglas was indeed to David Jones' locker.
Your what is what?
Connor is the best straight man. Nothing phases him.
Lightning! There you go!
Okay, if you don't stop talking, I'm sending you to detention.
Me name's the Angels. Ye kill me fodder. Prepare to go now, ye shut!
I can tell you for sure, that stand alone, there's a few times I actually almost lost balance.
Yeah.
So this is what you should not do in an actual lightsaber fight. Do not stand like that. Keep your feet on the ground.
Me name is the Angels.
That's enough, Jones. Next! All right, Trey, I'll take over from here. Show me what you got.
Well, since you asked. First, I plan to start in with the basics of Form 1, and then advancing in with Form 5 to increase my chances of winning by 15.2%.
the hardest part of playing a nerdy student, memorizing all of these facts and having to spew them out in very long rants.
Enough already. Fight me.
So Cindy and Jalen's fight. So this is 2 of 3 fights that Jalen had to learn. And that's really a lot of material for one show. It's much more common that people will only learn 2 fights for a show. So this was definitely an experiment we were making, is what happens if you go for 3? And Jalen's really rising to the challenge here. Of the 3 fights, this is probably his weakest. And Cindy is doing a tremendous job of being a supportive actor in the same scene. So she starts off and she has this really dramatic pose. And she's ready to go, but she slows down to match Jalen's tempo, which is a safety thing, and also just that's the only way that the fight would work.
I remember this fight also took a while because there is a height difference between these 2.
So this is where where the line is blurred between me as a person and me as an actor playing the role of a nerdy student. But I got so into this that I created a color-coded spreadsheet, which will appear somewhere on this screen, of this entire fight. I laid out all of the beats, all of the targets. I listed my motivations next to each beat and added witty lines and stuff. Oh, it was beautiful. It was beautiful.
4-1.
Oh man, Jalen did that at a rehearsal one time, and it was just the most intense, blood-curdling scream. We actually thought he got hurt.
To turn the tide of this fight and what kind of strike I could do. In some of the fights, while we use this macro, it would be kicks or shoulder checks, but I am 4'9", and Jaden is a lumbering forest tree of a man, so it would make sense for me to shoulder check him in that way. So that's where we came up with the palm strike. Plus, whenever I fight, I usually hold my hand, oh, wrong hand. I usually hold my left hand like this anyway, so it just made sense.
Professor, you really should have started with Form 3 here.
So, you know what could make this fight even better? More sassiness from the nerd, and more pain for the professor. It was very quiet, so a little bit more dramatic screaming would be a lot better.
Don't lecture me, Padawan.
Professor, wasn't I supposed to learn something new today?
Ah!
3, 2, and 1.
Damn, I look so good here. I mean, I look good all the time, but especially here.
Wow, you actually beat him. You pass.
Yes, that was very good.
Well, statistically speaking, I only had a 64.2% chance of failing, and with your injury...
All right, that's enough for today.
All right, assembled class, we have a little bit of an announcement for you guys.
All right, class. As some of you may know, our security has been breached several times by the Sith Academy. What? All right, settle down. Now we believe that there may be a spy amongst us. What? All right, settle down! Now we're finally going out to get coffee. Try not to burn the place down while we're gone, please.
Just great leadership.
That's a
right
good
there.
question there.
Yeah, we might have spies. I'm getting coffee.
Are you sure you don't want me to go, Master? I'm 90% sure they're gonna burn this place to the ground.
Statistically speaking, there's only a 36% chance that we'll burn this place down to the ground.
I changed my mind. I'm going with you.
I don't blame you.
And statistically speaking, there's only a 14% chance of something going wrong.
Carrie! So, fun fact here, in the original script, Carrie's name was actually Kevin, but then I realized the number of times we would have screamed Kevin throughout the show. It would have given off a lot of strong Home Alone vibes. But also, I wanted to go for a non-binary gender-neutral name for my character, at least phonetically. So, one, it felt more true to me as a non-binary person, but also it gave it more flexibility as to who could be cast in the future. Not that this show was cast by gender or anything, but some people just feel more comfortable having a name that better suits them as a person.
Darn it, Carrie, you doomed us all! There's only one thing to do at a time like this.
Abandon the ship before we feed the fish?
Jones means run away?
Of course, silly me.
Run away!
Oh yeah, Dummy is the last one who run away. Like a new
he is
scene.
Dummy.
Okay, that's true.
I'm so glad you folks decided to follow me. Using my advanced algorithm, I devised the most intricate path for us to take. The Sith would never find us.
Carrie, why?
Why do you keep jinxing it? Do you want us to die?
I don't think I can do this.
We can so do this, Zev.
Well, statistically speaking, there's only a 49% chance of us dying.
Thanks, Carrie.
So I'm gonna run for it!
During these bits where I run off stage, it wouldn't look convincing if I ran a little bit and then just started walking towards the wall because there's such short space. So I think it was the first or second time. And also, we were used to working in a much larger space at MIT. Anyway, I would just full speed run right into the wall and just kind of against the window or against the screen.
So we call this fight Alderaan. It's one of the multi-person fights. We name our multi-person fights after systems: Alderaan, Bespin, Coruscant, Dagobah, Endor. Alderaan is a tricky fight to learn. It's not even so much about the various attacks. It's about movement. And so that's what makes multi-person choreography so difficult, is you have to learn exactly where you should be relative to the other person. Hann and Courtney are doing a really good job here in learning Alderaan, and Natalia is doing a fantastic job as the single Sith here.
Oh my gosh. We're all gonna die!
Not if I can help it.
Yeah, go Han, go.
All right, you can do this, you can do this.
It's you, Courtney.
One of the things that Natalia is doing really well is, especially as the single combatant, is that she's adjusting to where exactly Courtney and Han end up. So you see, for instance, Courtney's tabards have fallen off, which sort of messes her up. She's sort of distracted by them. And Courtney's doing a very good job at staying focused in being present in the fight. But of course, that's going to distract anyone. And so she's slightly out of position. But you don't really notice it because Natalia just shifts and makes it work.
Where'd you go? Did we just defeat a Sith?
By the Force? I think we did.
All right!
Oh,
High School Musical mode.
Aha! The scurvy dog can't plunder me if I'm fast in the left furrow with a wind on a smooth sail.
What in the world are you saying?
Trust me. I have no idea what I just said. I'm just following the script, so I have no idea what I just said. And the jacket is really heavy, so...
I mean, I thought it was that once you put that jacket on, you stopped being you and you just became pirate student.
True, I just want to try to, like, get into character. So, it was really fun experience, I can say.
That's all I meant. I meant, like, literally. You turned off being glass and you became pirate student. There was no glass anymore.
Uh-huh. I try to say, this is definitely very challenging to work on.
Me, Cutlass, would send you to Davy Joe's locker.
Again, what are you saying?
If we had a nickel for every time Gladys gets hit on the butt during the show, we'd have 2 nickels, which doesn't seem like a lot, but it's strange in the first place that this would happen twice.
You blundered my potato, you son of a senator!
I had sausage, not biscuits for breakfast. Why would you do that? I thought you were a Jedi. What's wrong with you? I don't get this. I hate this school. This is why I became a Sith. You guys think you're perfect with your code and all.
A very Jedi move.
Are we sure we're Jedis?
Actually, let's be frank here. I don't think any of us actually act like Jedi. We very much abuse the Force and the lightsaber.
Well, that's the end of that.
You know, I feel like this experience was really scary, but it has taught me new confidence.
So this was the part where I was walking behind them. This was the part where I want to stab each of them in the back, starting with the nerd. Her smartness was making me dumber.
Yeah, I've become more confident.
Good job, Zev.
And I've learned that the best way to survive is to run away.
They're not wrong.
Which is what you need to learn about Battlemount for 5!
15 minutes late with Starbucks. Classic move.
What's happened here while we're gone?
Why is there a dead sit there?
Major props to Natalia for rolling on the floor like that. No matter whether we were outside, in a classroom, keep rolling.
Well, explain yourselves. A thought? Anyone? A thought?
Done it all.
So I knew that I could like stab them in the back, but you see, as a villain, I had to save my whole evil plan. That's what they do in the movies, right? That's what villains do. Like before this epic boss fight comes in, they had to say their monologue or their speech before fighting against a protagonist.
I can't believe you killed him. I was a traitor, you fools. I was the one who lowered the security system. I was the mastermind.
Damn, this is twistier tight than a typhoon over there.
Why do you think I cut Tria's hand off and accidentally stabbed the professor? I'm just in ways that a Sith Master lost to you, bumbling fools. No worries. I can take you Go on.
No, this one's mine. This has been a long time coming.
Less talking, more fighting.
This is where Mike's breakdancing background comes into play.
That tumble was not part of the choreo. I just wanted to make the fight more dramatic.
Do the Sith we? I don't think they've actually we.
Take notes, Padawans.
No! This wasn't supposed to be happening.
One thing to note in this is when Mike is, doing all of the screaming and running in, that actually takes a lot of energy. And so yes, he's being very, very careful at how he runs in, and so he's not actually running in full tilt and things like that. But by the same token, he's not just sort of simply walking. This is just acting 101. He's really invested in the role in the moment, and that really does take a lot of energy. So kudos to Mike for really sort of reaching down and sort of accessing that.
Dummy Smith, you should have remembered rule number 3. Always go for the head!
Okay, so we have rule number 1, and now we have rule number 3. What's rule number 2? What's rule number 2?
Also, I wouldn't recommend doing that move of tossing the lightsaber in the air if you're new, because you can easily drop and break them.
Remember, practice, practice, and practice.
Wow.
Well, shiver me timbers. We have reached the end of the world.
What?
Jones doesn't know how to end the show?
Oh, okay.
And thus, the fourth wall is destroyed.
Fourth wall breaking jokes. Love them.
I'm not sure how to end this play.
It's okay, guys. Just don't force it.
So let's start with blocks. Blocks are the first building block. We use a numbered system. Your first block 1 is on
Standing there proudly, listening to the applause was a very profound moment for me. You see, a couple years back, I got into a really bad accident. Meanwhile, I still wanted to stay involved with the club, but obviously I couldn't swing around a lightsaber. When I developed enough strength in my arm to go back into actually performing, I was really nervous about it the whole time. I had to take it easy, pace myself just so that I wouldn't overexert my arm. But performing this, one of the longest fights in the show, executing it to the best of my ability then, and just being cast as a very competent, skilled student when I myself wasn't feeling that confident at that time. It's just a beautiful feeling.
I enjoyed performing in that. Overall, a great experience. The cast was great. Kale and Jackie were fantastic as the directors, and I think it was a good time overall. And I'm so glad we filmed it.
Overall, I love how everyone did the show. Everyone worked so hard for this, and it turns out so amazing.
Yeah, I'd say.
Oh my god.
And even though I wasn't in it, I had a ton of fun working on it.
When I first joined the club, I really was more centered on just learning the lightsaber aspects of combat. I really didn't feel sure of myself for any actual performances or anything like that. I was always too shy and afraid to give someone like that a try.
And how do you feel like using the camera for the first time?
Using the camera for the first time was, you couldn't really see it in this footage, but the toughest thing for me was getting used to the zoom and remembering which direction I had to go to zoom properly.
Something that I had never tried before, which was theater and acting. So, and to find out that I actually do have the confidence and courage to maintain myself in front of other people, even as a main character, that is something that I never thought I would or could do, and it's nice to know that I can actually maintain myself.
In addition to being the chief instructor, I'm also artistic director. And so this was also a very different project for us. That this was a really over-the-top farce. The other shows that we've done have definitely been on the lighter side, comedies, Princess Bride, Scooby-Doo. But this, Cale wrote this script, and he really cranked the farcical nature up to 11, which was great. It's a really nice departure for the club, and I'm really looking forward to other scripts that he might write for us in the future.
Yep. Once COVID-13 is obviously gone away and we can start meeting in person, that'd be nice.
Wait, 13?
Don't screw up. COVID.
All good, all good.